Continue. It says chapter 1, non-consensual experimentation. And it brings out a scripture. Now, I looked this up. So that was actually a falsehood I said because it went into a scripture and I looked that up. And it's no scripture in Leviticus 24 and 30 that says this. It says fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Whatever injury he has given a person shall be given to him. Salakia, and like I say, I know for a fact scripture it doesn't say that, but let me get that since just to matter of fact, I'll actually show you how much Esau the devil, because I'm gonna let you see it literally says fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, whatever injury he has given, a person shall be given to him. Leviticus 24 and 30. So we're gonna go get Leviticus 24 and 30. Salakia. What am I doing? Leviticus 24 and 30. Bear with me for a second. Akim. It ain't no 24 and 30. So let's show you how the devil really. But at the same time, I'm sure this is going to be pretty informative. So it says, when one speaks of non-consensual experimentation, the immediate picture one gets in their mind. That's a fucking mind psyop right there. They just put something. That's just like that movie. Well, I ain't even going to get into that. The thing is, they just put something and just because they worded it and said that was in the Bible, and people will take it like, well, they heard that eye for eye and tooth for a tooth, they automatically program, oh, well, yeah, that's probably in there, without going to go look up it themselves. That might be a game here. He might, you got to really, like for instance, I know for a fact, when you go into Pulp Fiction, when you had Samuel L. Jackson quoting that scripture, he was like, well, yeah, that was in the book of Ezekiel. You go look that up. I personally went and looked that up. They literally tell you that he actually added to the word. Quentin Tarantino, that's not in the Bible. It might be kind of sounding like it is, but it's not. Quentin Tarantino actually, they wrote that into, like that was in the Bible. And people don't question it. They just automatically assume. You know what I'm saying? Showing you the power of the Bible and showing you how foolish motherfuckers is. When one speaks of non-consequential experimentation, the immediate picture one gets in the mind that's why I say in Scripture, Salaki, it say in Scripture, study to show thyself approved. The immediate picture one gets in his mind is a Nazi camp where grotesque experiments were carried out on prisoned Jews. Most Americans have no clue that many of the doctors carrying out these experiments were brought to the United States bypassing the Nuremberg trials by the Office of Strategic Services through Operation Paperclip. Now, that's true. People don't even go into that, though. People don't even pay attention to that. The same people that they made it seem like was so wicked, your government that you trust in brought to this motherfucker and let them. What do you think that movie, and that's another Quentin Tarantino movie. I can't think of the fucking name of it right now. It had Brad Pitt in it, though. And it was based on the Nazi thing, and Brad Pitt was like a colonel or something, but he used to do something in the movie. I ain't gonna tell the movie. He had this signature thing he would do to a Nazi. He would take his, and now he's supposed to have Indian. He's supposed to be a Jake. He looked like an Edomite in the movie, but if you paid attention to the movie, because I used to watch a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies. If you pay attention to the movie, he's supposed to be a Gadite. That's why he always carried the fucking knife. Quentin Tarantino is an acquired taste of movie. I watch it because at the end of the day, it's like Roots. I used to hate that movie, but I watch it just to, like a female told me this. They got to do something with my testimony. At the end of the day, probably one of the realest women I've ever met in my life. I don't know how I knew her from the past. At the end of the day, probably was my soulmate for real. At the end of the day, because she saved me. Well, long story short, She said you know sometimes because you got to endure that to build you up to make you stronger. You know what I mean? You know, like I mean, basically what we going through with these trials and tribulations. These are not meant to break you and make you give up. If you give up, then you was never meant for this in the beginning. That was the Most High, like really torturing you. At the end of the day, when you go through all this pain, it's supposed to build you up. Because when the pain really come, that ain't gonna be shit to you. You know what I mean? But long story short, like I said, he used to you leave a tattoo. He used to cut on their foreheads that they was Nazis. I can't think of the damn name of the movie, but everybody should know the name of the movie. And he had all kind of Jews. And then the thing was, it was one actual real Jew. It was a Jake in the movie that used to mess with this German chick. And you had to watch the movie. I can't think of it. Inglourious Bastards. That was the spirit. It just popped in my head. Inglourious Bastards. And they took history and rewrote it lightweight, but at the same time, it was a different kind of movie. And the main character was Brad Pitt. But anyhow, it was showing in that movie how they was actually like they was sent over there to assassinate all these Germans, and this one particular German knew so much information like all these governments do when it's beneficial to them. They spared him, they blessed him, and all that. And he was so mad because he's like shit. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and follow orders, but everybody gonna know what you did. And he tagged this motherfucking forehead with that swastika. But if you ain't never seen it, go check it out. That's as much as I'm gonna give you. Anyhow, continuing, many others were assisted out of Germany prior to the fall of Berlin by the Catholic Church, which is also true, who supplied them with false passports to the South American countries like I can't pronounce that. Uruguay and Paraguay. I'm not pronouncing it right. Slovakia. I'm gonna spell it out for y'all. Uruguay and Paraguay. But I do know this, although right now I ain't spell it correctly. At the end and pronounce it correct. Well, I spelled it correctly. I didn't pronounce it correctly. At the end of the day, you can go look up true fact, true history. You can go look up. You'll see at that time you had Catholic, like priests and bishops and whatnot. They would be doing the whole little Hail Hitler shit with them. This is true history. And the thing is, we live in a day and age. You can go look this up. That you ain't got to even take my word for it. The strides they had made through non-consensual experimentation were seen as a rationale to the national security of the United States. As a matter of fact, until recently, the Aerospace Library at Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, was named the Strughold Aerospace Library, named after Hubertus Strughold. He is widely known as the father of American aerospace medicine for his role in pioneering manned space flight. See how quick? That's why I like to read. I didn't even know that. I always thought Jack Parsons was the first one. Before being brought to the United States under Operation Paperclip, he was. See, and then you probably come to find out Jack Parsons picked up his work. And colonel in the Luftwaffe as a senior advisor in their medical service overseeing medical experimentation. The Luftwaffe medical service used Dachau concentration camp prisoners as test subjects in experiments that included immersion of freezing water, pressure chamber testing, forced seawater intake, and invasive surgery without anesthesia. At the Nuremberg trials, Strughold contributed several affidavits on behalf of his research assistant, Hermann Becker Frenching, who was convicted of crimes against humanity despite Strughold's defense. All told, over 1,600 psychiatrists, medical doctors, and physicians were brought to the U.S. to continue their work. Nazi Germany first saw the use of psychiatry as a punitive tool for controlling political dissidents. Psychiatry is uniquely positioned as the perfect tool to enforce political obedience through confinement of those who disagree with current government policy. And who was the father of psychiatry? It was a German. Salaki, I'm gonna get the name. Salaki. And the father of modern psychiatry was Sigmund Freud, which I believe he's German. Let me check. And I think Sigmund Freud was related to somebody that was actually father of psychoanalysis. Sigmund Freud left Vienna soon after troops from Nazi Germany entered Austria in 1938. So 9 times out of 10, he was caught up in all this too. But let me get one scripture and then I'm going to stop and start over. Because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you people so fucking. Most I bugged you out so bad. But it's all in scripture. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we had to suffer this, but treasure of the wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness deliver from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. That ain't what I really want to do. I wanted a particular one. The wicked, Psalms 10 and 4, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh's not in all his thoughts. At the end of the day, these people, like I say, are wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, they came up with this whole, and they using it in forms now. They psychologically trying to program, people, and they have succeeded. But that's all the will of the Most High. They don't even think that the Most High ain't doing anything to do with that. They believe that they, through their own vain imaginations, they got power. They did this. When this is all, it tells you in Scripture that the Most High, ruler from the kingdom of men. He allowed you and he put this in your mind thinking you, that's why it's going to be so cold how you going to do it. Like, I'm literally watching things play out that I just found out that the Valley of Jehoshaphat is over there where they already at. You got multiple nations over there now. Did you know that? Like, I just found that out today. I'm going to stop there.